Welcome. You're listening to the Changemakers radio show here on WVCR 88.3 The Saint, where we profile changemakers across the country and around the world. I'm your host today, Sasha, joined by my co-host, Jimmy.
Hey, Sasha.
How are you today, Jim?
I'm doing awesome, thanks. I think this is actually our first time hosting together. I'm really excited.
I think so, it is. Well, welcome to the fold. I know you had a few hosting gigs, but this will be fun. This will be a fun day.
Absolutely. I get to go from behind the scenes of watching our magical host work to actually participating. So how are things going on for you, though?
It's pretty good. I'm just recovering from a big event we had a few weeks ago. We had over 300 middle school students.
Wow.
For over 2 days, come on campus, take a few college classes, have a tour, eat lunch, do some other activities. So you can imagine I'm still recovering from that.
I bet, absolutely. But that's some good work. I mean, those kids in middle school are able to come to a college campus and see what it's all about. I wish I had an opportunity like that.
It's a great pilot program that we just started this year out of the ACE office, and I cannot take any of the credit. I need to give the credit to our student coordinators and my other youth program colleagues in the office, but I think it was very successful.
That's awesome. In our world, I know you were there and you attended. We just had our Vista Video Showcase. So each year, our program members in Vista, they create a video that can either pertain to their site, their organization, or the issue area that they're focusing on. This year, we had 8 videos that were amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's nice when every single video engages you and attracts you. It was a great event. And I just want to thank my committee for helping put that together. So thanks, Tommy and Sarah, if you're listening.
Great job, guys. So what else is new?
We're in the thick of recruitment season. We're trying to prepare for my exit and yours as well, getting ready for that new cohort coming in.
Don't remind
so next week we have about 48 interviews or so to bring in some solid Vista candidates for the summer cohort. Fortunately, we were able to solidify Vista leaders, so it makes me leaving after 3 years with the program a little easier.
Well, congrats to the newest Vista leaders of the Siena College AmeriCorps Vista Fellow Program. I'm sure you'll be doing great work.
And listen in for them because they'll be taking over managing the show.
Yep. So let's get on to our show. Today we have on, I want to call him a veteran guest, Mr. Eric Guzman from Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. Before we move into talking more, I just want to read his bio quickly. Eric Guzman is the Communications and Events Manager at Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. Eric graduated with a management degree from Siena College in 2012, hoping to use his knowledge and experiences to impact the communities in which he lives. Eric is responsible for carrying out the agency's communication plan, as well as coordinating events and fundraisers that increase awareness and community investment in IPH. So, Eric, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on the show and to see you both. So thanks again for inviting me.
No problem. It seems like no matter how hard we try, you and we can't get away from Siena after graduation.
Nope, never leave.
I know. I love this place. So in tradition, could you tell our listeners and us a little bit about yourself? What do you do? Where are you from? And what are some of your interests?
Absolutely. Sasha really nailed it on the head, so thank you for that great bio. I am the Communications and Events Manager at Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless, and it's actually a position that I've held since I've graduated Siena. I actually, began as an intern at Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless my senior year at Siena, and after working on some events and doing some stuff, was actually offered a full-time position with the agency. So I've been there since, and I've been living and working in Albany ever since. So it's actually been really great. While I've been at Siena, I hadn't had a chance necessarily to explore the city, but now that I'm living in Albany, I like going out, trying new places to eat, exploring parks and other spaces. So it's really been a great fit, not only to be in the city, but to be at IPH as well and stay close to Siena and come back and do things like this pretty regularly.
That's awesome.
It's great seeing those connections that Siena builds and how it fosters, your career paths and goals after college.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jim can speak about that as well.
A little bit. Been here for 7 years now.
So you said part of your role at IPH is to coordinate fundraisers and events, and I know that there's a big event coming up, but could you share with our listeners an upcoming event that's happening?
Absolutely. So really all of my time and energy lately has been focused on our upcoming event, which is A Taste of Albany. And actually this year it's the 10th annual A Taste of Albany. So it is an exciting milestone for that event. And for the listeners that don't know or haven't heard of what A Taste of Albany is, it is a culinary showcase of Capital Region restaurants here held at the New York State Museum in Albany. This year's event will be on Thursday, April 30th at 5 o'clock p.m. And really, it's a celebration of local restaurants and chefs who come to this event and prepare a taste for more than 500 guests that attend. There is a red carpet entrance. There's silent auction. There's live auction. There's lots of opportunities to take photos and lots of great stuff. So it really is a great evening of food, fun, and fighting homelessness.
Sounds lovely.
That sounds like a fun time. I'll certainly be there. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So could you tell us, this is the 10th annual, so this has been going on for quite a bit. Could you tell us a little bit about past events, how they went, and maybe some of the themes that were showcased?
Absolutely. So this is the 10th annual Taste of Albany, so we do want to make it the best event that we've had so far. As the 10 years have gone on, we've gotten better participation from restaurants. It started 10 years ago, I want to say, with maybe a handful of restaurants, maybe about 10 restaurants. And this year, 10 years later, we've got 34 restaurants on board for this year's event. So it really has expanded, not only in popularity, but the participation in these restaurants from this local area who do want to showcase some of their creations and really help get their name out there for their restaurants. So over the years, we've seen attendance rise. We've seen more restaurants being on board. Actually, this year I had to turn away some restaurants because we were at capacity.
That's
so
great.
It's the first year we've actually had to do that, which is a great sign. It's good to have that.
Absolutely.
Could you list a few of the restaurants just to get people excited? And see what
Yeah,
kind of food
absolutely. I
they're
won't go through all 34 because we
Yeah.
want to leave some element of surprise. We do have some good restaurants. Albany Pump Station is an Albany favorite who's coming. Brown's Brewing Company. Cider Belly Donuts is a new donut shop downtown who will be there, which is really, really great. The Honest Wheat Food Co-op is definitely a popular restaurant around here. The Desmond Hotel is actually participating as well.
Interesting.
Creo, Angelo 677 Prime. So those are some good players that we've got at this year's event.
Wow. Sounds delicious.
So I've never been to Taste. My Vista site always has me doing things on that day and during that time. But could you tell us, some of the listeners, how exactly is the food served? Is it do you sit at tables? Are there waiters going around with trays? Is it sample size?
Yeah, great question. Really, this event, we get the feedback that it really is kind of the kickoff events for the spring season. It's really one of those fun events. I always look at Taste of Albany. It symbolizes the warm weather. Spring is right around the corner. And that's kind of how we want to theme the event. We want it to be light. We want it to be fun. And really, it's a tasting event. So individuals and guests who are coming to the event, it's very mobile. People are moving around and trying to get to all 34 restaurants. Do people make it all the time? Absolutely not. But you can try. You can try to get around. So really, all the restaurants set up a table. They have decorations that represent kind of their brand and the theme of their restaurant. And they're providing a sample size taste of a taste that best represents what their restaurant stands for and the type of cuisine that they're trying to put forward. So our guests are really traversing around the 4th floor of the New York State Museum, which is the beautiful venue that we hold it at, and working their way around and trying to get to all the restaurants. So it's a very mobile event. It's very fun. There's lots of different tasting tables. There's different opportunities to take pictures and, with different backdrops and different props. There's lots of different stuff. So people really don't sit. There are definitely tables for those folks who just want to sit down and be there. But for the most part, people are moving around to try to take advantage of all the different activities that are going on throughout the evening.
Absolutely. And I found in my experience that it's a great networking opportunity, too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of big players in there, even if you want to go for a networking event. But there are some other cool activities like the silent auction and such. What else do you have going on?
Yeah. So we definitely, and Jimmy, I'm glad you brought that up too. Really, the people that we see coming to this event really range in age from college students and recent graduates who want to kind of build their network and kind of go out and see some of these restaurants of the Capital Region, but also seasoned professionals who are coming to this event because their companies or them individually are longtime supporters of IPH. And it really is a great mix of folks who are there. So even at the very least, you're having great conversation looking at the views of the Empire State Plaza. So that in itself is just a wonderful experience. But there are some other event elements. There's a red carpet where we're greeted at first. So Individuals can walk across the red carpet and get their picture taken. There's a silent auction with lots of different items. Again, Capital Region businesses have been so generous to give us some fabulous live auction and silent auction items that people can take a look at it and walk home with really fun baskets. We have Mother's Day themed baskets, Father's Day themed baskets, things like that. We also have a live auction too, where there's private dinners that some restaurants are hosting that people can bid on as well for restaurant chefs to come into their homes and actually cook a meal for them and their friends. It's some really neat stuff you can walk away with.
Awesome. Now, this is a fun event, but what exactly does it do for IPH? What programs is it helping to provide?
Yeah, so this event is really raising critical funds for our agency. In particular, it really focuses on our Sheridan Hollow Drop-In Center and the programs that go on there. And that Drop-In Center is a daytime safe haven for low-income individuals and families, and also members of the homeless community who can be under one roof and have access to a variety of basic needs programs: a daily meal, shower services, laundry services, access to case management, and community providers who are on site to provide a myriad of different services that meet our guests' needs. So that program really does benefit from all of the proceeds from A Taste of Albany, and that program sees about 3,000 guests per year coming through the doors.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So this event is definitely important, not only for our agency, but for all of the guests who are using the services of that drop-in center.
That is, I'm still shocked by the number. you just, that is amazing. Do the attendees of the event know that their participation in Taste is going to help that specific cause?
Absolutely, and we try very, very wittily and slyly to insert this throughout the event. We'll have signage on the tables, letting people know that their impact and their contributions are serving this number of people. Even in the bathrooms near the sinks, we put some signs about how many showers are being generated from their contributions and how many loads of laundry get done. So we really try to insert the mission back into the event, again, in the light and fun nature that the event is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really fun event that I'm looking forward to.
We have a few minutes before we go on break. I just wanted to ask you, what has been your favorite moment while coordinating Taste these past few years?
Yeah, that's a great question. This will actually be my fourth A Taste of Albany. And I have to say the best part is working with the restaurants and going out there and meeting all these great restaurants. I am a total foodie. I love to cook, and more importantly, I love to eat. So this event has been the right fit for me to get out there and kind of explore Albany's culinary scene.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have right now. But stay tuned, because we'll be right back with Eric Guzman from Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless to talk about their event, Taste of Albany, after a brief public service announcement.
And we're back on the Changemakers radio show here on WVCR 88.3 The Saint, where we profile changemakers across the country and around the world. We're here with our good friend Eric Guzman from Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless, talking about an upcoming event, the Taste of Albany.
Welcome back, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So before we went on a short break, you were talking about your favorite moments and facets of Taste of Albany. We've been really hyping up Taste, but I'm sure the listeners want to know how they can get involved.
Absolutely. In this event, like I said, my favorite part is the food, but there are so many other things too that are so great about this event. And it really is welcoming for anyone who wants to be a part of A Taste of Albany. I do have to say, A Taste of Albany cannot be done without the wonderful event committee, and we're looking every single year for individuals to be a part of the event on the back end. We need people behind the scenes to help every element of the event come together, whether it's logistics and table placement and linen color, all the way to coordinating some of these restaurants and our auctions and volunteering the night of the event. So there's definitely lots of opportunities. We do look for committee members. We do look for volunteers throughout the evening. And we even look for guests just who want to come to the event and enjoy a great evening of food and fun. So there's definitely lots of ways to get involved. The Siena College AmeriCorps Vista program is a huge supporter of the event. Each year, we have tons of Vistas who help out and volunteer the evening of the event. I do have to give a shout out to our very own Vista at IPH, our outreach and volunteer coordinator, Clarice Nichols. She is doing a fabulous job really
Shout out,
rallying
please.
her cohort and friends to kind of support this event. And we've just been embraced by the Vistas over the years. And, you know, we're really appreciative of the support.
I don't know if it's that the Vista Interfaith has been lucky getting Vistas, or the Vistas are lucky getting Interfaith, because it seems like everybody there has been doing really well in their term, between Tarsus, Clarice, who are currently both there. You had Adriana before, but every Vista comes out of or into my one-on-one meetings with them talking about how much they love working where they're at.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of that relationship. So we really do appreciate
It's a great partnership.
Yeah.
So how long does an event of this magnitude take to coordinate?
You know, it's a great question. People come to this event, and I think being an event planner, you know, you really look at an event and you see all the different pieces of it. As someone who goes to events, you don't always realize how much planning goes into a 3-hour event. You know, this event is 3 hours, but it takes about 6 or 7 months of planning.
Wow.
So we're starting, this event is on Thursday, April 30th. I started planning, I'm going to say the beginning of December, the end of November of 2014.
Wow.
So definitely a lot of time. And you would think an event that's been going on for 10 years that kind of runs seamlessly at this point, but there's still all the different fine-tuning logistics that we're looking at every year to keep this event fresh. We want to keep people coming back to this event, keep supporting a good cause. So we're always looking and putting time into making this event go above and beyond each year and outdoing ourselves, to be honest. And that takes time. It definitely takes
I'm sure it does.
months and months of planning.
I don't know if you know this off the top of your hand, but how many participants have you had in the past years? Is it like a ballpark figure?
Yeah. So I want to say we've had about 500 guests every event.
Wow.
So that's a lot of people who have come through the doors. I mean, you could do the math on that. But there's definitely a lot of folks who come through the doors. We've had people who have come to every single A Taste of Albany since it has started. And those are our really great loyal supporters. And every year we're excited to reach out to new faces and new friends of people who maybe want to explore the culinary scene of Albany. Maybe they want to support our good cause and be an advocate for IPH. Maybe it's both. But every year, you know, we fill that museum. I don't know if you've been to the space before, but it is a pretty big open space. And we fill it. So we definitely get a great turnout every single year.
And what you just said, or like you said, you want to see this event improve upon from year to year. So thinking out into the future, where would you like to see Taste of Albany go?
It's a great question. And I haven't had a ton of time to think about that because I'm always thinking about the event
The
coming
current.
up, the current one. I'd have to say, I think kind of giving our guests a great mix of restaurants and really trying to diversify some of the restaurants that are participating. We get great restaurants every single year, but I could see us having different themed areas of the event, perhaps, with different types of cuisines. We get some great restaurants who pull out some really great dishes. And especially for those folks who enjoy food, I can see this event really becoming a culinary showcase that is really well known here in the Capital Region, and people use Taste of Albany to explore restaurants and then support them along the line throughout the rest of the year and give them a reason to go back and visit these restaurants.
Wow.
Hence the name, A Taste.
Hence the name, A Taste of Albany.
Absolutely. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
So how can our listeners find out more if they're interested in attending the event? Is there a website or something that you'd be willing to share?
Definitely. And I do know that I threw a ton out here. So to catch all that information about the event logistics, the time, and all that great stuff, listeners can visit www.atasteofalbany.com. Again, that's atasteofalbany.com. It has information about the event, which will be on Thursday, April 30th at the New York State Museum, but it also lists all of the restaurants that are participating. We'll have some information about silent auction items and live auction items as well. So it's a great resource. It's a great place to kind of just see all the things that are happening at this year's A Taste of Albany.
That's
Awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Apart from raising the funds for the Sheridan Hollow Center, has this event been used as sort of a way to spread awareness of IPH in general?
Absolutely. So this event, you know, it definitely raises critical funds for our Sheridan Hollow Drop-In Center, but at the same time, it is raising awareness for the homeless and low-income community, the very individuals that we are working to support. So as we're reaching out to 500 guests who attend the event, to all of our companies that sponsor, all of our generous sponsors. Our presenting sponsor this year is SEFCU, and they have been so generous. And not only at this event, but throughout the year, it really has spread their impact for all of our programs throughout the year. So all of our generous sponsors who spread the word of our cause, all of the guests who attend the event and go home and say, hey, I attended this event and it raises money for this great cause. It is spreading awareness. And we'll see people who want to come back and volunteer at our shelter perhaps, or make their impact even larger than attending that one night.
Wow, that's awesome. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to be able to attend. So are there other ways that our listeners could connect with Interfaith in case they can't make it?
Absolutely. So all year round, we are looking for new faces, new individuals to come in and support our agency. Aside from attending our special events and enjoying a ton of delicious food, we look for volunteers to come into our agency and volunteer on a day-to-day basis. Coming in and preparing a meal for our guests even, coming down to our shelter and cooking a meal is a great way for individuals to come get involved and volunteer their time. Putting together donation drives to help fill our wish list. We're looking for wish list items every single day. We have a clothing pantry at our Sheridan Hollow Drop-In Center. We give away household items to our guests who are moving into apartments. So we're always looking for people to kind of rally around our cause and spend some time at the shelter and help us, raise some items for the folks that are getting ready to get out on their feet and move into housing.
So for the things like the wish list, or if they would like to prepare a meal, where can they find that info?
That can be found on our website at interfaithpartnership.com. We have a Get Involved page that lists all of the information about ways that individuals can get involved. And Clarice Nichols, our Vista and our Outreach and Volunteer Coordinator, is that point person to figure out and put together the perfect volunteer opportunities, whether you're an individual, a group, a business, a family. We look for all different types of volunteers to come down, and we can put together the perfect way to volunteer for anyone who's interested.
Yeah, we've definitely had the opportunity. I know, Sasha, you have with your students.
My high schoolers love Interfaith.
Absolutely, and we love them.
And the Vistas have even gone down on a weekend and able to make breakfast. And then for our mid-year retreat, we're able to. It's a really great time. And you're helping support an organization that's really making a change in our community.
Yeah,
and you're there in the kitchen. You're working with your
Jimmy. I remember you were down there and you were cranking out pancakes.
Yep, that was fun.
You did a great job doing that.
And then the next time I think it was tomato soup. I don't even like tomato soup, but it was a lot of fun making.
Yeah,
and it came out really good. I'm surprised.
And that goes a long way for our guests too. Knowing that individuals from the community are coming in because they're taking the time out of their day to care for folks like them and prepare a home-cooked meal. It really does mean a lot to our guests who have been through a lot to kind of see that community members are coming in and giving them attention and making their day a little bit brighter. Even if it is making them, a bowl of tomato soup, it really goes a long way.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was one of the most fun volunteer opportunities I've ever participated in.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm a full-time volunteer.
All year. So we have some extra time, and before I ask you to give the logistics of the event, you know the tradition we have here of asking our guests, what does a change maker mean to you? What does a change maker mean to you, Eric?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's something that I think about every single day. And really, I guess change makers are people who are in the community and they're invested and passionate about a cause that is going to change people's lives for the long term and for the better. And people who are going out in the community. And I really look at IPH as an organization that's making change. Really, we look at ourselves. We're not looking at people's needs for the day. We're not looking at what people need to get through the night. We're looking at their needs for the long term and to really make a permanent change so folks can get back on their feet and not fall back into a cycle of homelessness. And I think that theme really resonates with what a change maker is. You're not looking at just today, you're looking at the long term and what can we do to make a difference and build stronger communities for now and for forever. And I think that's what a change maker is.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So we have a few minutes left. I'm curious, what are your plans for the future? Say within 5 years, do you see yourself staying with IPH? I mean, because you've been really doing great work there.
Yeah.
So what are Eric's plans for the future?
I think I definitely have found my niche here in the nonprofit world, and I don't think I could see myself leaving the nonprofit sector and doing, community organizing and fundraising activities for a cause. As of right now, I'm happy where I am. And
great.
if I can keep producing an event and get to eat some great food and, and connect with great people, I mean, keep me there. So I think I can see myself definitely staying here and doing this type of work because
Good
it's
work.
something that I love. And it's good work. I mean, it feels good, and I know that it's making a difference.
They're lucky to have you.
Yeah,
So
thank
one
you.
last time, could you give us a quick rundown of the logistics of the event, when it's going to be, where?
Absolutely. So the 10th annual A Taste of Albany will take place on Thursday, April 30th at the New York State Museum from 5 to 8 p.m. It is presented by SEFQ, and more information can be found on www.atasteofalbany.com. It lists all the participating restaurants, so you can check out your favorite restaurants and see who you want to visit at the event, and has just kind of an agenda for the evening and what people can expect to see at the 10th annual Taste of Albany, which will be the best Taste of Albany yet.
Well, awesome, Eric. Just want to say thank you so much for joining us again here on the show.
Pleasure
It's always
having you
I'm
here.
always glad to be
Always
here.
a fun time.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, but we ask you to join us every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. on WVCR 88.3 The Saint.
Shining on my heart.